Hey everyone, ready to jump into the world of website platforms.
I'm ready. What are we diving into today?
We had a great article sent in comparing Squarespace and Shopify, and, well, let's just say choosing between them can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be tough. There's a lot to consider. Luckily, this article gives us a good starting point.
Definitely. So we're here to break it all down, help you figure out which one's right for you, kind of like your website platform matchmakers.
I like that. Matchmakers for the digital age.
Exactly. So the article really boils it down to this stunning design with Squarespace versus the pure e-commerce power of Shopify. By the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly which direction you should head in.
Sounds like a plan. So, are we talking about a complete standoff here? Design versus e-commerce. Is it really that black and white?
Well, it's not quite that simple. It's more nuanced than that.
Right, of course. Nothing's ever that simple. Exactly. The article gets it right. Both platforms can build websites, but they each appeal to different visions. Imagine Squarespace as that friend, the stylish one, who can just whip up an amazing-looking website, no problem.
Okay, I'd see that.
Founded back in 2004, they've really mastered the art of sleek, modern templates. They're definitely a favorite among creatives and businesses who want their online presence to be as visually stunning as their work in real life.
And they don't even need to be code and whizzes to make it happen, right?
Exactly. And then you've got Shopify, founded just a couple years later in 2006.
Okay, so pretty close together.
Yeah, if Squarespace is like the design guru, Shopify is the sales powerhouse, like that one friend who can sell just about anything.
We all know someone like that.
Right. And with over 1 million businesses using their platform, they're laser focused on giving you the tools you need to make some serious money online.
It's interesting how those founding dates kind of play into their strengths, don't you think? Like, Squarespace tapped into that early need for aesthetically pleasing websites when, I don't know, maybe things were a bit more basic online. And then Shopify comes along, ready to ride the wave of that booming e-commerce scene.
Wow, that's a really good point. Makes you wonder how the online landscape might look different if those timelines were reversed. But hey, let's not get too lost in hypotheticals, right?
Right, back to reality.
Exactly. The article does a great job at diving deeper into the nitty-gritty of each platform's strengths. Let's start with Squarespace and their passion for design. What were your initial thoughts?
I think it's brilliant how they've positioned themselves as the go-to if you want your brand's personality to really come through visually.
It's more than just pretty templates, right?
Oh, absolutely. It goes way beyond that. It's like they've built this whole ecosystem to empower even the most tech-challenged person to create something really stunning.
I'm with you there. Their templates really stood out to me in the article. They even called them award-winning, which is impressive, right? But beyond just looking fantastic, it sounds like they're also incredibly user-friendly. Did you get that sense?
Totally. The article makes a big deal about their drag-and-drop interface, which, honestly, is a breath of fresh air for those of us who don't speak code fluently.
Drag and drop music to my ears.
Seriously. Imagine effortlessly moving elements around, changing layouts, adding images, all without touching a single line of code.
Okay, that does sound pretty dreamy.
Right? They even have those pre-built sections for things like image galleries or contact forms, making it almost too easy to create something super professional looking.
So Squarespace is like having a virtual design assistant who can anticipate your every need. Makes you want to jump right in and start designing, even if you've never built a website before.
I know, right? It's pretty tempting.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about who Squarespace is perfect for. Any guesses based on what we've learned so far?
Well, from everything we've talked about, it seems like the ideal Squarespace user might not need those super complex e-commerce features, but still wants a strong online presence that reflects their unique style.
I like that. A strong online presence.
Right. So we could be talking about, say, photographers showing off their portfolios, designers building their brands, maybe even a local bakery with a simple online shop.
You hit the nail on the head. The article specifically calls out photographers, designers, and smaller boutique businesses as great examples. It's like Squarespace has found their niche, serving those who are all about those visuals, especially those just starting out or wanting a beautifully simple online presence. But that leads us to the next question. What about businesses with more serious e-commerce needs? That's where Shopify steps in, right?
Exactly. While Squarespace shines in the visual design department, Shopify is all about those businesses looking to really thrive in the competitive online marketplace. The article called them an e-commerce giant, and honestly, it makes sense. Their entire platform is designed to help businesses scale and optimize their online stores in a way that Squarespace just can't match.
So Shopify is less about building that pretty website, more about building a profitable business.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're laser focused on helping businesses make money online.
You got it. They're not messing around when it comes to e-commerce.
Not even a little bit.
They've built this really comprehensive ecosystem for businesses of all sizes, from those just starting out to those well-established brands. And the article really digs into some of the key features that make them so powerful. What stood out to you as the biggest game changer for Shopify? What sets them apart in the e-commerce world?
Honestly, their inventory management system was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's super robust. Like imagine being able to track all your products, manage all the variations, sizes, colors, you name it, and even get those automatic alerts when it's time to restock. No more last-minute panics or having to tell a customer, sorry, we're all out.
That's huge, especially as your business starts to grow. That kind of organization can be a lifesaver.
Totally. And then there's the payment gateways, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember the article mentioning that. What was it, over 100 different options?
Over 100, including all the big names, Shopify Payments, PayPal, Stripe.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
So you're not limited in how you're accepting payments from customers, which is a big deal, especially if you're thinking about selling internationally.
Exactly. Makes going global so much smoother. And speaking of international, they streamline shipping too. Like they have those built-in integrations with all the major carriers, UPS, FedEx, DHL, so businesses can figure out shipping costs, streamline their entire fulfillment process all within the platform.
It's like Shopify's thought of everything a business needs to run smoothly, from the moment an order is placed to when it finally arrives on the customer's doorstep. It's not just about listing your products online, it's about managing that whole process efficiently.
Right. They've eliminated those logistical headaches that can really trip up businesses,
Okay.
especially as they're starting to scale.
Definitely a weight off your shoulders. But the article did mention that Shopify can be a bit more complex than Squarespace, especially for beginners. Did that surprise you at all?
Not really. I mean, it makes sense, right? When a platform's that powerful, that feature-rich, there's bound to be a bit of a learning curve.
It's like anything else. The
Yeah.
more sophisticated the tool, the more time you need to invest in learning the ropes.
Exactly. But I think for businesses that are really serious about selling online, that investment in learning how to use Shopify effectively, it's going to pay off big time in the long run.
Absolutely. So, based on everything we've discussed, who do you think would benefit most from Shopify? Who's their ideal user?
I'd say Shopify is a natural fit for those established online retailers. You know, the ones already doing a decent amount of business.
Makes sense.
They need a platform that can not only keep up with their growth, but actually help them take things to the next level.
You're spot on. The article specifically mentioned established online retailers, those fast-growing brands, and even businesses selling globally or across multiple platforms. Think companies with tons of products, constantly adding new things, or those wanting to reach an international audience. Shopify is built to handle all of that.
They're ready for anything.
It sounds like both Squarespace and Shopify have carved out their own lanes in the website building world.
Totally. They each have their strengths.
But I'm curious about how their pricing compares, For a lot of businesses, especially those just starting out, that can be a make or break factor.
Oh, absolutely. Budget is huge. And the article does a nice job of breaking down how they each price things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So let's dive into that. Let's start with Squarespace. What's their pricing philosophy like?
Well, Squarespace keeps it pretty straightforward, which I appreciate.
I like when things are easy to understand.
Right. So they have 4 main pricing tiers: personal, business, basic commerce, and advanced commerce.
Okay, so a decent range of options there.
Yeah. Their personal plan, their most basic, starts at $16 a month, perfect for personal websites, blogs, portfolios. If you just want to share your work, your thoughts, without needing to sell anything directly, that's a great option.
So for someone who's mainly focused on showcasing, not selling, got it. What about businesses wanting to, dip their toes into e-commerce? What are their options?
That's where the business plan comes in.
Okay, tell me more.
It's $23 a month, and you get those basic e-commerce features so you can sell products or services online. Plus, you get some bonus features, more design customization, marketing tools. It's a nice little package.
So you can test the waters with the business plan, but I'm guessing for businesses really serious about selling online, they'd want to level up to one of those dedicated commerce plans.
You know it. Squarespace has 2, basic commerce and advanced commerce.
Walk me through them. What makes them different?
So basic commerce is $27 a month. It's designed for businesses that are ready to fully embrace online selling. It gets rid of those pesky transaction fees, which can eat into your profits, and you get more comprehensive e-commerce tools. Think customer accounts and direct integration with Instagram shopping features that make a real difference when you're looking to grow your online sales.
Those are definitely some attractive features for businesses looking to boost their online presence. What about the top tier, the advanced commerce plan? What justifies that investment?
So for $49 a month, you're getting the whole shebang.
The works.
Exactly. This includes things like abandoned cart recovery, which is huge for recouping those potentially lost sales. Plus, you get more advanced shipping options, the ability to create those really cool discounts and promotions, and a whole bunch of tools designed to keep those customers happy and coming back for more.
Wow, they've really thought of everything. So would you say overall that Squarespace's pricing is generally geared towards, say, smaller businesses or those just starting out with e-commerce?
I think that's a fair assessment. It's definitely appealing to businesses that are budget conscious.
Makes sense. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about Shopify's pricing structure. I'm guessing it's a bit different given that their main focus is on those more advanced e-commerce features.
You're right. With Shopify, their pricing is all about supporting their biggest strength, e-commerce. And while their plans might seem a bit pricier than Squarespace's, you're also getting more power, more flexibility right off the bat.
Okay, so walk me through those plans. What are my options if I'm considering Shopify?
They really do have a plan for everyone at any stage of their business. Their entry-level option is the basic Shopify plan. It's $39 a month, and it gives you everything you need to launch a fully functional online store, unlimited products, 2 staff accounts, and all the essentials like payment processing, discount codes, order management, you name it.
It's like that solid foundation for anyone diving into the e-commerce world. So what about more established brands, those who are starting to see some real growth and might have more, a complex needs? What does Shopify offer them?
Well, that's where the Shopify plan comes in.
Yeah.
This one's priced at $105 a month. And it basically takes everything from the basic plan and, levels it up. You get more in-depth reporting and analytics.
So we're talking about really understanding your customer's behavior, what's working, what's not.
Exactly. Plus, you get professional reports, 5 staff accounts, even lower credit card rates.
Wow, it's like they're giving you the tools to not just manage the growth, but to really understand and optimize it.
Totally. But they don't stop there. They also have plans for even larger businesses. Advanced Shopify and Shopify Plus. You ready for this?
Hit me with it.
Okay, so for those businesses that are operating at a higher level, there's the Advanced Shopify plan. It's $399 a month, and it can handle those higher sales volumes, more complex operations. We're talking advanced reporting, super accurate shipping rates, and the ability to have up to 15 staff accounts. They know bigger businesses have bigger teams.
It's all about scaling up. So you've covered basic, you've covered advanced. Now I got to ask, what about those massive e-commerce giants, the ones we all know by name? What does Shopify offer them?
That's where Shopify Plus comes in. Think of it as the ultimate VIP experience. This plan is custom priced, but it starts at $2,000 a month. It's specifically designed for those high-volume sellers, those big-name e-commerce businesses. It's not a one-size-fits-all plan. They actually work directly with the business to build a custom solution.
So it's tailored to their exact needs.
Exactly. Think. Complex systems, multiple storefronts, handling huge amounts of traffic and transactions. It's next level.
Wow, Shopify Plus sounds intense. So they really do have a plan for everyone, from small startups to those global powerhouses. But I do remember the article mentioning that the costs can go beyond those base prices, right? Something about apps and transaction fees.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's definitely something to keep in mind with Shopify. The monthly plan gives you a lot, but you might end up paying a bit extra for apps that enhance your store's functionality.
Okay, so give me an example. When would I need to pay extra?
Let's say you want to automate your marketing or really optimize your website for search engines. You'll probably need to use an app for that. And those apps often have their own costs.
So it's kind of like, building your dream house. All the add-ons and upgrades can really start to add up.
Exactly. And then there are those transaction fees.
Right. Tell me more about those.
So Shopify does have their own payment gateway, Shopify Payments, which is great. But if you decide to use a third-party provider like PayPal, you will have to pay transaction fees on every sale.
Got it. So that's definitely something to factor in when you're budgeting. It's important to know what you're getting into.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, the article also talks about return on investment, or ROI, for both platforms. What's the verdict there?
Okay, so with Squarespace, if your focus is on design, branding, Maybe you have a smaller selection of products to sell. It can be a really smart investment.
Okay, how so?
Well, their pricing is generally more affordable, especially if you don't need those super advanced e-commerce features,
Hmm.
and you're still getting a lot beautiful templates, that user-friendly interface we talked about, and those built-in marketing tools.
So it's that sweet spot of value and affordability, especially for businesses with a clear vision for their online presence. What about Shopify's ROI? I'm guessing it's a different story, given their pricing.
You're right. With Shopify, that higher price tag comes with the expectation of serious e-commerce growth.
So if you're relying on online sales, you need a platform that can keep up.
Exactly. If you need to handle tons of transactions, sophisticated marketing, selling on multiple channels, if your business model depends on that, then Shopify's ROI can be huge.
It's all about aligning your platform with your big picture goals. If you're looking to make a real splash in the e-commerce world, Shopify can help you get there.
Exactly. It's the ultimate e-commerce companion.
Now, the article dives deeper than just pricing. It goes into usability and customization options for both, which I think will be super helpful for our listeners.
Oh, definitely. It's interesting to see how their different personalities really come through in those areas.
Totally. When it comes to user-friendliness, Squarespace is tough to beat.
They make it so easy.
The article raved about their drag-and-drop builder, saying it's super intuitive, very beginner-friendly. Even if you're not a tech person at all, you can still create something beautiful and professional using those pre-designed templates and simple tools.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's designed for everyone.
So Squarespace really is all about empowering anyone, regardless of their tech skills, to create something stunning. But, and you know there's always a but, right?
There's always a trade-off.
While Squarespace excels at being user-friendly, it does have limitations when it comes to, really digging in and customizing things. You're somewhat limited by the structure of their templates.
It's true, you don't have complete free reign.
Right. You're trading a bit of that granular control for the simplicity. For someone like me, who appreciates a good aesthetic but doesn't want to mess with code, I'm okay with that. But for businesses that want more control, who need very specific integrations, who really want to get into the nitty-gritty of their website's design, what are their options?
That's where Shopify really comes alive. Remember that vast app ecosystem we talked about?
Oh yeah, thousands of apps.
That's where it really comes into play. You can add all sorts of cool features to your store, really make it your own. Plus, you can use custom themes, which give you even more control over the design and functionality of your website.
It's like building your dream online store, brick by digital brick.
But
There's a trade-off, isn't there?
of course, you know me too well. All that flexibility comes with a bit of a learning curve. You might need some coding knowledge, or at least be willing to work with a developer to unlock Shopify's full potential.
There it is again, that classic trade-off. Ease of use versus ultimate control. Squarespace makes it easy. Shopify gives you the power if you're willing to put in the time.
Exactly. But it really comes down to your comfort level and how much you value customization.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But we're not quite done with the customization conversation. The article also mentioned developer freedom, which seems like a whole other level.
Oh yeah, that's getting into the weeds a bit.
I'll admit, developer freedom isn't something I've ever really thought about before.
And that's totally fine. For most people, it's not a major concern. But for certain businesses, especially larger companies or those with really specific tech needs, it can be a game changer.
Okay, so, when would that be important?
Think about businesses that need seamless integration with other systems. Maybe those with complex back-end setups, or companies that want to create really unique, highly customized features. For them, being able to get into the code is essential.
So where do Squarespace and Shopify land on that spectrum of developer freedom?
The article's pretty clear on this. Squarespace, with their focus on simplicity, offers limited developer access.
Okay, so they're not really about that life.
Right. You could tweak some visual stuff with CSS, maybe add a few bits of code here and there, but you're mostly bound by how their templates are set up. Shopify, on the other hand, they're all about it. Full access to the platform's code.
So it's like Shopify hands you the keys and says, go wild, while Squarespace is like, we got this, just relax.
Exactly. And it really speaks to their core approaches. Squarespace empowers everyone. Shopify caters to those who want that deep level of control, even if it means getting your hands a little dirty with code.
Love that analogy. But no matter which platform you choose, let's not forget about one of the most crucial aspects of building a successful online presence: SEO and marketing.
Oh, absolutely. You could have the most beautiful website in the world, but if no one can find it, what's the point?
Exactly. Driving traffic to your website is essential. So, what does the article have to say about SEO and marketing on Squarespace and Shopify?
It's less about one being definitively better and more about understanding how they each approach it. Both platforms do offer SEO features, but just like with their design philosophies, they each have their own style.
Okay, I'm ready for this SEO showdown. Let's start with Squarespace. What are they doing to help users rank higher in search results?
They do a good job of covering those SEO fundamentals. Think of it like this. They give you the tools to write a clear, compelling essay, but you might have to find your own dictionary and thesaurus.
Okay, so they're setting you up for success, but maybe not holding your hand through the entire process.
Exactly. They have those built-in tools for customizing your page titles, meta descriptions, alt text, all that good stuff that helps search engines figure out what your website is all about. Plus, they automatically create those clean, user-friendly URLs and generate a sitemap, which helps search engines easily navigate and index all your pages.
So they're making sure your website has good grammar and structure, which is a great starting point, especially if SEO is new to you.
Precisely. But like their customization options, their SEO tools are designed to be user-friendly, not necessarily super advanced. If you're a larger site with tons of products, content, you might need more than what they offer.
Which brings us back to Shopify.
You got it. Shopify's SEO game is strong. They give you that fine-tuned control.
What makes them stand out in the SEO department?
Well, you have complete control over the SEO elements for everything on your site, every single product, blog post, collection, so you can really optimize everything to make sure search engines understand what your content is about and who it's for. They've also made it easy to implement structured data.
Okay, I have to stop you there for a second. Structured data, what's that all about?
It's a way of giving search engines even more context about your content. Think of it like this. If SEO is about speaking Google's language, structured data is like giving them a dictionary and a thesaurus to make sure they really understand what you're saying.
I like that. So if you have a website with, say, thousands of products, Shopify gives you the tools to make sure each one is speaking Google's language fluently.
Exactly. Plus, let's not forget about site speed, another ranking factor. Shopify's platform is built for speed. Their websites load quickly, even with huge inventories, which is key because no one wants to wait around for a slow website, right?
Absolutely. So it sounds like Shopify is the way to go for businesses serious about SEO. But what about the rest of the marketing puzzle?
Right, there's more to it than just SEO. Thankfully, Squarespace and Shopify both offer other tools to help you reach your target audience.
Perfect. So let's start with Squarespace again. What marketing tools do they bring to the table?
They keep it pretty simple, with a set of basic tools that are nicely integrated into the platform. They've got their built-in email marketing feature, Squarespace email campaigns, which lets you create and send those branded newsletters.
That seems to be pretty standard these days, right? Most website builders include something like that.
It's true, it's become pretty common, but it's good to know they have you covered. They also have those social media integrations so you can connect your website to your Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Makes it super easy to share your content, pull in your feeds, and help people find you across platforms.
Social media is essential these days, so it's great that they make it easy to manage. What about analytics? Can Squarespace users track how their marketing is doing?
Yeah, they do provide a basic analytics dashboard, so you can see your website traffic, your top pages, where your traffic is coming from, that kind of thing. But it's definitely more of a general overview than those super detailed reports.
So you're not completely in the dark, but you're also not getting the full picture. Which makes me think, for businesses that want to really dive into the data, those more in-depth insights, Shopify might be the winner here.
You're reading my mind. Shopify's marketing tools are definitely more advanced. They're made for those e-commerce businesses that are really serious about growth.
Give me some examples.
Well, for starters, they have those integrations with a ton of email marketing platforms like MailChimp, Klaviyo. These tools let you automate your emails, personalize your messages, target specific groups of customers. It's all about working smarter, not harder.
I love that. And what about multi-channel selling, reaching those customers wherever they are?
Oh, that's another area where Shopify really shines. Remember, they're the e-commerce powerhouse.
Right.
They make it incredibly easy to sell across all those different channels: social media, online marketplaces, not just your own website.
So we're talking Facebook, Instagram, even Amazon, eBay. That's huge. But with so many channels, so many things happening at once, you need to know what's working. How does Shopify handle the analytics side of things?
Get ready to be impressed. Shopify's analytics are top-notch. especially compared to Squarespace. You get those super detailed insights into every single aspect of your online business. We're talking conversion rates, average order value, even customer lifetime value.
It's giving you all the data you need to make smart decisions, optimize your campaigns.
Exactly. They know data is power.
This has been such a thorough deep dive. We've covered design, e-commerce, pricing, SEO, so much. As we wrap up this section, what are some of the key takeaways you want to leave with our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Choosing between Squarespace and Shopify isn't about picking a winner. It's about figuring out which platform fits your needs, your budget, your comfort level with technology.
Well said. It's about finding what helps you build your dream online presence, whether it's a beautiful portfolio or a giant online store.
Right. And keep in mind, this is just based on one article. There's a ton more information out there.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to do some more research, try those free trials, see what feels right for you.
It's all about finding that perfect match.
That's such great advice. Testing things out is key. But speaking of important factors, the article also touched on security, which is essential for any online business. What are your thoughts on how Squarespace and Shopify stack up in that department?
Oh, that's a great point. Feeling secure online is huge, especially when you're dealing with customer data and transactions. The good news is both platforms take security very seriously.
That's reassuring to hear.
Right. They both offer SSL certificates, so all the data transmitted between your website and visitors is encrypted, like an extra layer of protection.
Okay, so that's a check mark for both. Are there any other security measures or differences that stand out?
One thing that's different is that Shopify is PCI compliant right out of the box.
PCI compliant. Refresh my memory on what that means again.
Sure. It stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. Basically, it means Shopify meets those really strict security standards for protecting customer credit card information. And it's automatic with Shopify, no matter what plan you're on. With Squarespace, you need to make sure you're following their guidelines to be PCI compliant, which could take a little extra work.
So with Shopify, it's one less thing to worry about, especially for busy business owners.
Exactly. They take care of it for you.
Yeah.
To be fair to Squarespace, they do provide instructions to help you meet those standards, so it's definitely doable. It might just take a bit more effort on your end.
It's like choosing between a pre-assembled bookshelf and a build-it-yourself kit. Both get the job done.
I like that analogy.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second, talk customer support, which is another big factor when you're choosing a platform. Everyone needs a little help sometimes, right?
Oh, absolutely. We can't be experts at everything.
Exactly. So what's the article say about how Squarespace and Shopify handle customer support?
Both platforms have several support options, but their approaches are a little different. Squarespace has email support and live chat, which are great for quick answers or if you need help in real time. They also have a really comprehensive knowledge base with tons of articles, guides, all about their platforms.
So if you like to figure things out yourself, Squarespace's knowledge base could be really helpful.
Totally. But sometimes you just want to talk to a real person.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What about Shopify? How do they handle those situations?
Shopify actually offers 204/7 phone support on top of the email, live chat, and their own help center.
Wow, 204/7 phone support. That's a big plus.
Right. It's like having a direct line to Shopify headquarters any time of day or night.
Definitely gives you peace of mind. So for those who value that, Shopify's customer support could be a big deciding factor.
Absolutely.
We've covered so much today: design, e-commerce, pricing, SEO, security. We've been all over it. As we wrap up this deep dive, what are your final takeaways for our listeners?
I think the main takeaway here is that it's not about crowning a winner between Squarespace and Shopify. It's about finding the platform that aligns with your business goals, your budget, and how comfortable you are with technology.
So well said. It's about finding the platform that helps you build the online presence you've always wanted. Whether it's a beautiful portfolio or a booming online business, it's about finding the right fit.
Exactly.
And remember, this whole conversation was sparked by that article that was sent to us. This is just the starting point. There's a whole world of information out there, so keep exploring.
Yes. Do your research, try things out, see what works best for you.
Absolutely. You've been amazing. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive into Squarespace and Shopify.
It's been my pleasure. Always happy to talk about websites.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next episode.